Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Google Digital Garage this morning. Happy Friday to everybody that's just joining in with us this morning. Great to see you all here. I can see already that the chat's getting quite busy, and we'll come to that in a moment. So thank you again for joining our session, which is going to be Find Customers with Google Maps, which we are actually running in partnership with Wenta today. And we'll be doing a little bit of a Wenta introduction shortly. Before we actually do that, I just want to make sure that everyone can hear me and see me properly. If you're having any difficulties with vision or with sound at the moment, then please do just refresh your browser. And that will correct any issues, hopefully, that have been coming up. This is a live stream, and sometimes the transition across can perhaps knock you out. So on that basis, just refresh your browser, and then hopefully you can see and hear me clearly, and we can get started with the training this morning. So my name is Glenn. I'm a trainer for Google's free skills training program, Google Digital Garage. As I say, it's an absolute pleasure to be here this morning delivering this webinar for you. We've got a really great 60 minutes coming up, looking at the impact of local business, local search, and making sure again that you're optimizing your online presence and can be found in as many ways as possible. So as I mentioned, there is a chat function, which is actually looking quite active. So I got a bit distracted by that. Lots of messages coming in this morning, which is fantastic. So I'm joined by my colleague, Angie. She's going to be in the chat with you this morning. She's got a little blue spanner just by the side of her name there, so you can identify her. Angie's going to be in the session all morning. With us. She's going to be answering questions from you as we work our way through, so please keep her busy, and also interacting with you, any comments that you have. We love lots of interaction on these sessions. It always helps to build a bigger, more conclusive session. We love to know people's experience, so please do get stuck into the chat. If you can't see the chat, then I would advise you just to sign into your YouTube account, and hopefully then that when you refresh the screen and come back, the chat function will be there over to the right or potentially underneath. Now, if you can't see the chat at all, say sign in, but if you haven't got a YouTube account, I would definitely advocate that you get one. Again, you can sign up for that with a few clicks and a little bit of information. That means that, say, for example, for this session, it's going to remain live on the link you came in on for the next 24 hours. That means that you can actually revisit the session if you need to, and look at any particular sections that you might want to run over again, or just look at again in a bit more detail at your leisure. So please do sign up for YouTube if you haven't done as of yet. It will be in your history as well, which is always a nice bonus. If you do get partway through a session, you can always pick up from where you left off as well. So I'm going to introduce now our partnership with Wenta. We are very excited to be delivering this webinar in partnership with Wenta today, and we welcome all of the guests that they've invited to join this Google Digital Garage training. Now, the introduction that I have on behalf of Wenta is coming up. So we are a leading not-for-profit, a social enterprise that has been supporting small businesses for over 37 years. We provide free business advice, free skills training webinars and workshops, as well as affordable workspace in locations across Hertfordshire and Enfield. In response to COVID-19, we've developed a wide range of new webinars specifically designed for anyone considering self-employment as an option for them, or for existing small business owners looking to enhance their skills to rebuild or grow their business. We've partnered with Google Digital Garage to provide this free Find Customers with Google Maps training session. Through our combined partnership, we aim to help small business owners improve their digital presence and grow their businesses online. And that's wenta.co.uk, which of course Angie is going to share with you in the chat. So please do check out that website. It is a fantastic website. I've been on it a number of times myself, just having a look, and the services that Wenta provides are so crucial. And again, coming out of this pandemic era that we've just experienced for the last couple of years, any help is good help, but the provisions that Wenta have for you on their website are so conclusive. So please do take some time to have a look at that website when you get a moment. So with the introductions done, that's absolutely fantastic. I do just now need to get into the session and make sure we can give you lots and lots of good value from this session this morning. Now, Would just like to also mention before I do get going that the session that you're watching today is part of a broader offering of courses that are available on the Google Digital Garage site. That's g.co/digital garage. So you can book up for other sessions on digital marketing, social media strategy. Wenta have had quite a few of these sessions over the past 3 months as well. But again, if you need to book up to catch up with any of those, then please feel free to do so. You can book as many sessions as you like, as many times as you like. So we've got some great, no cost, really valuable though, learning for you to benefit from. So that's everything now. Let's get on with the session and let's have a look at what we're going to be covering today. So today, and again, bearing in mind the small business and SME focus that we've got, we're going to be looking at building listings on Google Maps or Google Business Profile, as it's also known. So we're going to be looking at the steps taken that are needed to create a Google Maps listing and what we need to do to get these verified. That's part one. And then in part two, we're going to be looking at how we can optimize our listing with key information to keep our customers and our potential customers happy, and to make sure that if people are searching for businesses like ours, that you in your listing will stand out and hopefully be the one that people will click on. And then lastly, we're looking in section 3 of how we can engage customers with some of the features that Google Business Profiles offer, and a really good substantial amount of features there available to you to help you and your business to grow. So let's have a look at this now. Let's start to work through the content. Just to say though, one of the things that you may experience today, hopefully anyway, will be lots of questions and a desire to take some of the concepts that you've seen further. That's a really great way to look at all of the Google Digital Garage sessions that we offer. But we do also offer this service that you can see on the screen too. So if you're based in the UK, and you're a small business or a charity, then you can sign up for some free one-to-one mentoring. Now that's a fantastic service. That's at g.co/UK mentoring. Now, if you sign up for that service, you'll get a 60-minute consultation, one-to-one, a mentoring consultation, which will obviously work through issues which are very particular to you and your business. So rather than it being like a general session, you'll be able to ask the questions that you think are important for you and your business. And you might see something today in this session that makes you want to get a Google Business Profile or a Maps listing. If you need to run through particular areas of that, why not run through it with a mentor as well? So please do sign up. Please do have a look at that and see if it's something that would work for you. Must remind you that's absolutely no cost, but you do need to be a small business or a charity based in the UK. Okay, so let's actually get into the session now. A question for you to get started. Now the reason for this one is to start to get into our customers' mindsets. It's so important, so that we can understand the journey that we're going on when we go online and when we search. Now, as you can see on the screen, you're going to go out for dinner tonight. It's Friday night, so it's a fair old possibility. Find a restaurant that you'd like to go to. So how do you do that? Are you going to be doing that on your smartphone? What words are you going to be typing in? What keywords are you going to be typing into the search bar? We can find information on businesses. We can find information in terms of reviews for those businesses. There are product catalogs. There are prices. For a restaurant, there's going to be menus. We can find all of that information really quickly. So we want to stand in our customers' shoes now, because this could really apply to how we're found online too. So what search phrases would you be using to find a restaurant in order to eat tonight? What's your search process? Now, you can open a new tab and do this, or do it on your smartphone. A high significant number of people will actually be searching for you on their smartphone. It is the device of choice, and so many searches are done now on the mobile device. Pop those into chat for us, and I will try and pick up on some of those as we work our way through. So give us your search phrases. I'll just continue on whilst you start to do that. And Angie can pop a few of those across to me, and I'll give you a shout out online as well, just to understand. And this is why it's really helpful, because I think the answer to this is that we're all going to have very similar ways of searching, but with some areas where we all stand out. We've got our differentiators. We've got our own way of expressing ourselves. So just while I wait for a few of those to come in, then let's move on. So how did you search for that restaurant, and how did you then choose the result that's right for you? You don't need to click on the restaurant. It's more just the process that you've taken to actually find one and get one. Okay, so Kingsley, good morning to you. Indian restaurant near me. Fine, near me. That's an important phrase. That comes up a great deal. Angie has contributed to, I might look for open restaurants near me. Open restaurants, that's a good one. Again, ensuring that there is the ability to actually go if we want to go. We've got Italian restaurant near me. And then Ariel has contributed with Chinese restaurant near. So your area, again, location searches are really, really important. Very good. Candy Thomas, restaurant near me. Fine. So you're giving yourself a wide berth of choice there. Saraswati, best restaurants around me. Best restaurants. Best also turns up a lot of time in our search results. And Kingsley as well. Yeah, best restaurants near me. So we can start to see a few themes. We can start to see a few really popular phrases coming through as well. This is how your customers are going to be working. This is how your customers are going to be thinking when they're looking for you and your business. And some of the phrases that you've come up with could be really, really vital keywords for you to insert into your website, for example, if you've got one, to make sure that you're there when customers are actually searching. Fantastic input. Really appreciate everybody getting involved. And we'll have a couple more. Well, I'll be asking you to input all the way through, really. But in terms of getting going and in terms of that initial exercise, that's really great input. And again, let's get the brain ticking over that on a search basis, this is how we could be found too. Okay. So listing our business on Google Maps. So let's keep that search process in mind. And let's now think about what benefits we might find by having a Google Maps listing. Again, it's a good question. What benefits do you think could be found by having a Google Maps listing? Perhaps you've already got one. Perhaps you're just looking to start one. You've done a little bit of research. One of the important things, again, is to emphasize the device of choice, which is the smartphone. And we might be looking or searching for things on the go. So one of the benefits that I find when I use Google Maps listing is the ability to use the map feature, the location feature. So if it's a physical business that I'm looking to actually locate and go to, I can get directions right there, right from home, right from the high street, right from the train station, right to the door of the premise. Now, it is good, and I think it's important to mention right now, you don't need to be a physical business with a physical open location to have a Google Maps listing. I'll cover that a little bit later on, but no, you don't. You know, if you're a service, if you deliver services, there are ways that you do not have to then share your actual address. But for these purposes at the moment, we're going to be looking at a local business that we're going to find in the high street. So as I've mentioned, you've got customer reviews, you've got ratings, there are photos. Let's build a picture of some of the advantages and benefits that we can actually build by having a Google Maps listing. There's some interesting stats I can give you here as well. When searching for local information, again, what are our customers doing? What do they want? 33% of people look for business hours. They want to make sure you're actually open when they can get there. 32% look for location. How far away are you? That's very pertinent. And again, that's quite important during, but also after the pandemic. You know, people have really rediscovered, I think, local businesses because we weren't able to travel far. We weren't really able to get to some of those superstores that we might have just got used to going to. And we've reestablished the value of some of the fantastic local businesses that we've got in our local area. And 27%, and I think this figure is going to be going up greatly, very, very quickly. 27% of people are looking for reviews. I look for a review. I do not spend any money now at all without looking at the review for the establishment that I'm buying from. And I think that this is, you know, it's the same as kind of the social proof element in social media. It's the recommendations. It's showing that other people have had a good experience at the place that you're looking to visit. That's really, really important because, you know, our money is valuable to us. Customer service is more key than it's probably ever been now. You know, if you've got a social media presence, if you've got a Google My Business, Google Business Profile rather, presence, or Google Maps listing presence, which are all the same thing essentially, then reviews and credibility and building trust with your customers are some of the really important elements for you to bear in mind at all times. Okay, so let's move on. A complete listing on Google helps customers engage with you. Yes, it does. Again, that's very much going back on the element of credibility and building that trust. A complete listing is the important part of what you can see on the screen there. A complete listing gives customers all of the information they need in order to make a decision, to carry through that search process, that decision process, and come and choose you. If your listing isn't complete, there might be vital things missing. They might move on to other sites or to other listings where they can find that information quickly. So it's important to build up your reputation and give your customers everything they need. Again, put yourself in the shoes of your customers and think, if I wanted to go to that establishment, what would I need to know? That's going to be opening hours. Maybe it's a phone call away. I need to give them a quick ring to find out some information. Could be accessibility points. Think about what your customers need in order to get to you easily. Again, that could be directions. So the map helps out no ends. So you're more likely to attract physical and online visits by having a complete listing based on that trust and credibility, and thus hopefully then that's more likely to lead to a purchase in the long run. So what does that actually mean in practice? So we do have some really good examples coming up of businesses that could have really suffered during lockdown and the impact that had. And maybe there's a few of you out there also that did suffer from the lockdown impact. But being online and having a good, conducive, strong online presence helps to keep your customers aware that you're there, that you're still open, and that you can still perform the duties for them that they're kind of hoping for and expecting. So we've got, and these are genuine case studies. Again, I'm sure Angie will be good to share the links for you in the chat so that you can read about these experiences. We've got Go East Chinese Supermarket, we've got Uncle John's Bakery, and then we've got Little Box of Books, all with three quite distinct experiences based on the lockdown impact. So let's start off with Go East Chinese Supermarket. Now, they listed themselves on Google Maps once the lockdown started, and this did actually lead to a 100% increase, the big stat on screen there, in online visitors. Most of these visitors were based locally, and this meant that the owner could market her products online and let customers know that her supermarket was still open for business. It gave the customers another way to find her, another way to check for her, another way to ensure that they weren't wasting their time. If you remember, at one point we were allowed out for an hour a day in the UK. So if we had to make good use to go shopping of that hour a day, we want to make sure the places we're walking to are actually open in the first place. So there's an excellent benefit as shown for the Go East Chinese Supermarket. Now, we've also got Uncle John's Bakery. And I think that is a really important thing to note here. There were lots of adaptations that we made to our business to ensure that our customers are being kept safe. And a lot of them you can still see now with shops still saying, please wear a mask, please limit numbers in the shops. That's still happening to some degree, even though perhaps we're not legally obliged to do that now. We still want to know that we're being kept safe. And on that basis, Uncle John's Bakery was able to display their business adaptations online. So people had a sense of confidence before they visited. They promoted his shop online, and then he sold to new and existing customers. He told people about his new opening hours, new opening and closing times, the new practices, building confidence so they could sell to both new existing customers, people that might again have gone to those larger supermarkets. I need to find a good bakery nearby, and Uncle John's Bakery was there for them, again, keeping them safe and giving them confidence to go and visit. Now, with the third example, which is the Little Box of Books, again, looking at traffic and driving those sales as well. Lindsay Pollard, the owner of Little Box of Books, realized that during that homeschooling period, again, something that we probably all remember if we've got kids, meant that the needs for books would increase dramatically. So she used Google tools to find new customers. Her website visits tripled in that period where homeschooling went on. Which led her to sell more books than she'd ever sold before. And as it says there, she sold the most books they've ever sold in a month. So taking positive advantage of the circumstances and adapting to those circumstances and showing that your customers that you're around and that you are reacting to circumstances as they happen can be a really important thing to do. And again, the three case studies that we've just seen all demonstrate that being aware of what's going on, being up to date, and sharing the benefits of what you can offer people can also bring in the bounties that you need in terms of keeping your business afloat in the first place, and then helping to make sure that it thrives and grows over time. So there are 4 steps to creating a Google Maps listing. We're going to run through them very, very briefly. Again, this is your Google business profile. Let's share a link, Angie, if you don't mind, just to Google business profile so that people can look at the process and get themselves up to speed as well. So we're going to create our profile. We're going to sign in at business.google.com. And then this is a multi-device thing. So if you also want to keep your listing updated on your smartphone, you have the full ability to do that. But this is available for your laptop, your tablet, your desktop PC, your mobile device, and pretty much any device that's internet connected and that has the ability to take apps is going to be able to use the Google My Business app. Now we're going to be providing information like our location and address. Again, if you aren't a physical business with a walk-in, there are tick boxes that you can use, which will say, I'm not a physical business. So therefore, I don't want to publicize my address. And then you can assign your business to a particular region or area so that people don't come directly to you. So that's a great feature. You can choose your category. That's an important one to match you to the type of business that you are. You can link your website. You can put your phone number in for people for those queries. You can put in your opening hours, and you can also provide, crucially, a description of your business activities. Again, giving people that ability to flick through, to find the information they need really, really quickly, and to make that decision to come and see you. As we've mentioned, your profile being complete is a key area. At minimum, at absolute minimum, you want your address. You want your opening hours, as you can see on screen. You want your contact details on there. You want your visual content, because one of the things, like social media feeds really, is that there's so much information out there. What makes us stop scrolling? So we want good visual content, things that entice people in, things that are interesting. We'll cover that in more detail later in the module. And of course, our logo for our branding. We are a brand. We're building our brand. We're building a reputation with our customers online. So make sure you've got your logo there as well. Now, once you've claimed your business profile, which you need to do to show that you are the genuine owner of your business, which you can do on Google Maps, you can then expand and manage your business to make sure that, again, it's reflecting what you want it to reflect, and that you're going to build it in the way that you want to build it. Now, there are a few bits of information you have to enter in to show that you are the rightful owner of the listing, to ensure that other people just don't take your listing for whatever reason. So again, get yourself up to date via the help pages of the Google Business Profile to understand what those steps are and why they are so important. There's an absolute wealth of help and support information on the site that's associated with the app too. Really, really important for you to do. And then once that's done, you can verify. The importance of verifying, and the reason I would really, really push that you verify as soon as possible, is that you can only enter in a certain amount of information to make your profile as complete as it needs to be until you have verified. You can see in the middle of the screen there, it says verification needed. So once you've verified, you can then allow new customers to find you across Google. So that's important. You can create your promotional posts. You can't do that until you've verified. Tracking your business analytics to start to identify your audience types. You can't do that until you've verified. And responding to customer reviews. You can't do that until you've verified too. So ultimately verify as quickly as you can. One of the ways that you get to do this is, one of the most popular ways, is getting a postcard to your business address, which contains a little code, a 5-digit verification code. You then take the code, input that onto your Google Business Profile website or through the app as well, and you become verified. And then all of those features open up. That's a good example of the dashboard for Google Business Profile. And you can see there are a wealth of things that you can work through. One of the things to say at this stage, it's really easy to work through as well. It's very nicely templated. There are lots of fields that you can fill in to make sure your information is up to date. And it's very, very clear what you need to do and when you need to do it. So this is where we then do start to populate our listing. We want to manage our listing, as we've mentioned, get all of that vital information up there. We want to be up to date. We want to be accurate. absolutely accurate. We can treat it almost like a social media platform. There's some similarities in the way that it works. You want to make sure that you're constantly providing people with new updates and content. If you do this, then you're moving your listing into an area that's going to give you some success. So if your opening hours have changed, brilliant, let people know. Keep your content fresh, update, think ahead, start to build a content calendar of what you want people to see when they're searching for local businesses like yours. Okay, so that's the first section done. I'm going to move into the first pause for questions just to see if there's any come through. There's a fair amount of information, but as I say, you can rewatch this webinar on the link that you came in on for the next 24 hours and use the help and support links for the Google Business Profile site. It's a really good way to do it. There are also lots of videos on YouTube as well. If you type in Google Business Profile, how to set up, that will, if you'd like to learn in that visual way, then you'll see people running through and telling you what they think is important or what's worked for them. So there are lots of ways to help you really optimize your listing. There's no questions at the moment. That's fine. We do have a couple more pauses for questions coming up and a lot more to get through. So I'm going to move on to the second section and let's think about optimizing our listing. So we've had a good look at how we can set up. And again, you can see it's a pretty quick setup process. Getting that verification is probably the longest part of the process. But once that's done, you're ready to go. You're ready to add all of your information. So, let me know what you believe now can make your listing stand out. We've got ourselves set up. What do you think from your online experience is going to actually help to make you stand out when people are searching? Please drop that into the chat. Now, remembering again the accuracy that we need if we need to update our opening hours, keeping content up to date and changing. Don't leave too long a gap. Start to think about how often it's going to be good for you and your business to be posting. Drop a few of those answers into chat and I'll pick up on those again as we continue through. So here's some tips. Hopefully these will match things that you were just thinking about on screen. So these are things that are going to help make your listing stand out. These are the things that are going to hopefully stop your customers from scrolling through listings and think that looks interesting. I need to know more about them. We want to include our key information, as we've said, cannot emphasize that enough. We want to start to get some customer reviews. So start to think about ways to get customer reviews. If you are perhaps a physical shop, maybe that's at a point of sale, maybe that's asking people, maybe that's providing them with a QR code that takes them through to your website. Oh, you just bought that from us. Can you let us know about your experience today? Think about how you can start to gain some reviews. Use posts and photos to really bring some life and some color and some visual areas to your listing. And then use those really valuable insights. The insights are the analytics really of your Google Business Profile, letting you know when people access, how many people have called you in the last 7 days, how many people have clicked through to the website. You can start to understand people's patterns, the popular times of day that people are looking for you, and then you can start to post around those times. So always utilize your posts as best as you possibly can. Providing as much information as possible. 96% of people are more likely to visit a business with its opening hours. Again, we want to know if you're open or not. I have actually recently looked up a business that said it was open and I got there and it wasn't. It's really annoying, and I'm probably not going to go back and use that business again because I wasted my time. And in my mind, if they kept their information up to date, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to waste my time. So these are some of the impacts that not keeping your information up to date can have. Now, there's a 42% increase in direction requests for businesses with photos. We want to provide people with as much visual stimulus as we can, help them see. It helps people to understand what they're expecting. People kind of want to know what they're expecting, and they are expecting some type of visual representation out there, I think. And then 90% of people are more likely to interact with you if your phone number is visible. So with your phone numbers there, you can see on the example on the screen as well, a good representation of the previous Google Digital Garage, which was based in Sunderland. But you can have your listing there, again, on a mobile listing. If it's got a direct phone number, you can have your listing right there already so that people only have to click it and they can call you. And again, with your customer service function, answer their questions as quickly as you need to. Ensuring that your core information up to date and your business description is valid and accurate can be done really, really quickly. Again, it's that usability area. But all of these tools are built with convenience and user experience in mind. So if it seems a bit daunting to be setting up all these new profiles, give it a go, have a look, or again, have a look online and see how other people do it. And you'll see that on the screen, you can see you can add your hours. It's literally a box that you click and you can add your hours, and then you can just revise the opening times on a day-by-day basis that you have. So if you're closed on a particular day of the week, you can show that, not open for business today. You can show, even if on 3 days of the week you're open from 9 till 5, but 2 days of the week you're open from 8 until 8. You can reflect those on an individual basis very, very quickly indeed. And having a really decent business description, telling your customers the clear things that you provide, the things that you do, how you do them. A good business description, again, very much like a website, really, is going to be absolutely crucial. People need to be able to make quick decisions. They want to make quick decisions. They don't want to be made to work too hard. None of your customers really, really want that. Convenience is the key. So make sure that you're perhaps tracking and looking at your profile and thinking, is this giving them everything that they need in order to have a quick, convenient journey? And am I providing them a quick and convenient service? Bear that in mind for all of the information that you're putting up. Now, if COVID is still of particular concern or is still having an impact, there are COVID-specific information areas available. Again, I think that this is now fading out as we emerge out the other side, thank goodness, of the pandemic impacts. But you can add posts to your profile letting people know. You can turn on your messaging. You can update your opening hours if your opening hours have changed. You can edit your business description, perhaps again to let people know perhaps some of the precautions that you're taking. You can again put in disclaimers for your hours and services. This may change, this may be open to change, this may change on short notice depending on circumstances. Again, hopefully we just won't need to return to any of these areas. You can utilize Google Trends as well. Google Trends is an absolutely fantastic tool. Now, the reason that we do that is because you can find emerging topics. So utilizing Google Trends, you can actually type in a particular search phrase, things that people are looking for, concerns that people have, and you can look to see over on a day, a few hours, a week, a month, 5 years, all the way back to about 2004, how popular those searches have been. So if you were looking for any particular concerns people had about COVID at the moment, you could literally type something in that covers the last few months just to see if there are any lingering concerns. Do I still have to wear masks? Could be one of those types of queries. Not everyone's as up to date as they need to be at this stage. We're all busy people. And you can also then highlight your temporary closures. Now, there is a good link that's shown at the bottom of that page. Again, I'm going to ask Angie to share that with us. It's smallbusinesseswithgoogle.com, resources for small and medium businesses impacted by coronavirus. So again, if that is still a concern for you for whatever reason, then there is still a great deal of information that's going to help you move perhaps away from some of those concerns as time moves on. Okay, we're back to posts. Let's think about the posts that we're creating now. So that's why we say it's quite similar in some respects to a social media listing. We can create those posts. We want to create engaging posts, as it says on the screen, engaging. We want it to grab people's attention. Now, we've updated our core business information. We're happy with that now. We might want to share posts. You can share offers that you've got going on. Everyone loves an offer, a great way to entice people in. Perhaps you're running an event, a particular event. Maybe it's a seasonal event. Maybe if something that you do corresponds with something like Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day, any of the national holidays, maybe you want to run an event on that day. You can let people know about those on your Google profile listing as well, and the products and services that you of course offer to keep people informed about what you do. So you can add a title for those. Providing a call to action is a motivation for your customers. Call to action is essentially telling people what to do. There aren't many times in life, perhaps, when we, as people, like being told what to do. But online, we do like to be told what to do because it makes our journey easier. So if you know that when people have reached a particular level of information, they want to do the next part of their journey, that could be subscribing to a newsletter, that could be giving you a call, could be emailing you, that could be buying a product, linking to your service shop, anything like that. Call to action, click here, subscribe here, call us now, email us here. Think about a good call to action. Visit today, call today. There are so many options. Now you can use photos and videos to your advantage too. So take a nice high resolution photo, add it to your post so it again stands out. We'll be covering a few tips on what makes a good photo a bit later on in the presentation. Write a clear description, provide as much information. You've got 1,500 characters on your description to be able to do that, but 1,500 might be a bit heavy in terms of, again, what people are actually going to be reading. People want concise information. So we've kind of worked out that the ideal amount is between 150 and 300 words, characters rather, not words, characters. So use this opportunity to provide more information for your customers, to be clear about the offer that you have. So then ensure your posts are accurate too. One of the key things, again, in terms of perhaps credibility and trust, is to make sure that you're using the correct kind of grammatical elements and that your posts are spelled correctly. There are some amazingly good tools out there to help you to do that. One of them is Grammarly. I'll ask Angie to share the link for Grammarly. That's grammarly.com. Brilliant tool. You can copy and paste any body of text into Grammarly and it will let you know if there are spelling corrections required or ways to structure that sentence or that paragraph better so that it looks grammatically accurate. Brilliant. So, if spelling and grammar aren't your thing, they don't really necessarily need to be when you've got tools like that available. So think about that, because again, that could be something that puts people off, but it needn't do, because there is so much information. There are so many tools out there to help you to get things exactly as you'd like them to be. Now, we did hit on reviews earlier on, and we've come back to them because they are so important. I've told you already that I'm not really going to be buying from anywhere unless I can check out the reviews and make sure that they are a good, reputable service. I'm sure a lot of us, and let us know, actually, please do pop into chat for me. Do you use reviews to help you make a buying decision? Let me know. I'm sure the answer to that for a lot of people is going to be yes. But we want to get reviews for many reasons. Credibility is clearly going to be one of them. The examples on the screen, so some good examples. The ratings are out of 5. So we've got a business on the left there that's got 4.9 out of 5 stars. Fantastic. We've also then got representation in the middle for a business called Paulie's Pizza that's got a 4.5. Out of 5. Again, that's a business I'm probably going to use. You can see that Paulie's Pizza's got 407 reviews. So he's obviously got a pretty good and robust review process in place, and people are happy and willing to contribute. Reviews are really important, because when people leave you reviews, they're taking the time to do it. So always make sure that you are sharing and responding to positive and to your negative reviews. From my perspective, there's nothing worse to see that 10 positive reviews have all been responded to with "thanks very much, that's so glad you had a good experience," but then the bad review or the negative review hasn't been responded to. That doesn't give me any confidence that you're going to fix my issue if the same type of issue happened to me. Again, think about how your mind works and how you want to get that customer satisfaction at the end of your transaction. So there's a good stat. 2 out of 3 people say positive reviews are an important factor in deciding which business to buy from. And I can see a couple of responses that come in. You've got Ariel and Ngozi. Absolutely. Yeah, it's there. It's helping us to make our decisions. It's part of our online experience. So getting reviews can showcase customer testimonials in your marketing activities. Brilliant to show, yeah, we're really good, and here's the proof. You can help your customers to understand what you're doing right and perhaps things you can improve on as a business. It just helps you to improve the visibility of your business in Google rankings. It builds trust. That's the key thing, really. It builds trust. In terms of encouraging people to leave reviews, think about ways that you can do that. A couple of examples I give: build relationships with your customers by delivering excellent customer service. ask them to, ask them to review your business online. Take 2 minutes. It's a really quick and simple process. Just want a sentence from you. If you've had a good time today, let other people know they can have a good time too, and make it really simple for people to do. Add the URL to your website or provide it in store. QR codes are great. Exactly, Kingsley. Social proof. Social proof, you can't beat it, because now it's part of everything that we do. There's no just I'm telling you that I'm a brilliant business. You now need other people to say, yes, actually, Glenn's business is brilliant as well. It's just an element that's grown up because the online world makes this type of information far more accessible completely. So what can you do? Again, if you've got any other ways, any tips that you want to share with the rest of the audience today, pop them in chat for us. We'd love to see them too. How can you encourage customer reviews? What do you do? As I said, one of the most popular ones, one of the ones that I use in presentations, one of the ones that I now see in quite a lot of shops at the point of sale, is people have got an A4 sheet of paper, perhaps in a stand, and it's got a QR code, and it says above it, please leave us a review. And people get, it's a bit of a talking point. How do I do that? And you get your camera out on your smartphone, you point it at the device, a little link comes up on your device screen, you click it, takes you right to the review page. You're also helping people to learn how to use their smartphones, perhaps a bit more constructively as well. And it's a new feature. So again, you can turn leaving reviews into a bit of a talking point. What a great way to do it. Okay. Back to the photos to stand out. Look at the photo on the screen. If that was a cake shop, I'd want to buy from it. Hopefully it's fairly clear as to why that is the case. So really, really showcase your business with great photos. Your smartphone has probably got a really good camera on it. You can use that, but you can also obviously use more professional equipment if that's what you want to do. 90% of people say they're more likely to visit a business with photos. They are. Again, it's part of the proof. We're saying we do this, but here it is. We're showing what we do. And if you make those photos look great, look at it's 11:42 now here in the UK, getting close to lunchtime. I'd really like one of those cakes. I wasn't even thinking about cakes, but now I've seen one, I'd probably like to go to the shop and buy one. That's the power of good photos. Business listings with photos get 40% more requests for directions. 39% of customers say they will stop engaging with a site if the images don't appear. So people really value images. 90% of people say they're more likely to visit a business with photos on Google result pages. So I think that's clear evidence and clear proof. People want to see photos. People want to see more than just the words that you're writing. So how do we do good photos? There are some key elements here. So we are going to have to think about good lighting. If you can take your photos in natural light on a bright day, fantastic. We don't want shadows. We don't want darkness as much as possible. It's reasonably bright where I am today, but I am also using some extra lighting to make sure that you can see me clearly. We want to make sure that everything we're doing is in focus. We don't want to blur the shot. I'm sure that the reason for that will be very, very clear. Pardon the pun. We want for everything to be in focus so that we're not making people fight to see what's going on in the picture. We can edit photos. There are editing facilities available on our computers, on our tablets, and on our smartphones, where we can make small adjustments. We can crop, we can change lighting, we can change coloring. Use those. And framing is all important too. If you look at here now, today, then there's me. I've got my branding for the organization that I'm representing very clearly in focus. And I've also got a plant. That's all I want. I don't want photos. I don't want things to distract people away from what's going on. It's a clear background. So think about what will work for you. Everything in focus, everything in the picture tells its own story. Now, to emphasize that, here's some photos for us to look at. So here we go. Top line, we're saying are good photos. Why? Again, let us have your observations on the photos that you can see. So the top photo is showing the full business in good, clear view. If you look at the bottom for the exterior photo, that's not helping us understand what the business is about. It's a pretty poor photo, and that wouldn't give me confidence in the business. Same for the interior. Look at the interior of that business. It clearly shows what that business is about. It also looks to me like it's a clean business, good business that I might like to visit. The interior photo at the bottom, what is that? Don't even know. That's not going to give me confidence to click through or to spend more time researching that business. And photos at work. The top photo you can see. Look at the assistant who's got a big smiley face. Nice smiley face. People love photos with smiley faces. She's enjoying her work. It's clear what she's doing. It paints a good picture. The photo at work below is not bad, but look, it's not giving people's faces, and it's not really clear what is actually going on. You've got someone with a phone. You've got someone pressing one of those point of service machines, but what's it all about? You would probably want to expand back out from that picture and give a bit more of a conclusive photo as well. And we can build on this even more. So what's so good about these photos? Well, there's an exterior photo. The whole of the business is in view. It's not cropped. The business name is visible. There's always a good touch to have as well. Make sure the business name is clearly visible. You can see the store name, the shop front, as it says there, and you could locate the business if you're walking down the street. I mean, actually, the colors of that business make it stand out anyway, but any business can be seen, would be seen. I think that's really, really important. That helps people to find you, to identify you very, very quickly indeed. Same for interior photos. Look at that nice bright image that you can see in the center of the screen there. It's bright and well lit and was taken during good weather. That can make a difference. Now, there's a wide selection of products on show, so you're clearly aware of what this business actually offers. You can infer what kind of business it is and what products and services are sold because they're clearly in view as well. So again, it's that positive showcasing of your business. Again, same for photos at work. People love to see what goes on in your establishment, so show them what's going on right here, right now. As you can see, this hairdressing business, that's a great photo. It presents the products and services on offer as well as the quality. Again, a good, clean establishment, good for hygiene, good for health. Could be important, again, if you have to go in and visit a particular business, if you're feeling unsure. You can see the quality that's on offer there. You get a flavor for the atmosphere and the decor of the business. And that's a nice photo. You've got the reflection. It makes the business look good. You can see beyond. You can see other members of staff at work. That's a great business photo. Okay, so now we've looked at the imagery. Part of the things that we can do to see how effective our business and our imagery actually has been in terms of our posts is to use the insights for your business listing. So you can see the demonstrations on the screen there. You can look at how customers search for your business listings. Where are they coming from? Are they coming from search engines? Are they coming through other mediums through to your site? What your customers, where your customers are viewing you. So again, we've got the total amount of views that have happened in the last week. So you can filter all of those. That's on the second screen there. You can filter it to a week, to a month, to a day to give you that drill down on the stats you want. You can look at the amount of phone calls that you've had. So are you promoting your service and saying you can give us a call for any queries and making that clear? Total calls within the last month, you can see there were 49. And then direction requests. How many people are clicking on the map and then clicking and getting direction requests to come and find you? Are you making sure that your address and your address details are optimized? So lots and lots of ways to help you to learn from your customers' behavior, which are great ways to gradually over time improve your listings, the posts that you're making as well. So there's a good overview. Again, write these down, or again, revisit the webinar later on the link you came in on. How customers found your listing. You can learn that from insights. You can learn what they did once they found you. So their behavior as they work their way through, where they're coming from, because you can get that vital location information. Oh, crikey, people are traveling 2 or 3 miles to come and find me. When people engage the most, the times of day that people are clicking onto your listing, and how your engagement compares to similar listings. So you can benchmark yourself against similar listings, against potential competition maybe in the area. Then you can start to do a little bit of competitor research, go and look at other competitor sites, other competitor listings, and think, oh, look what they've done. Look how they've done that. Look at the imagery. Look at the way they describe their business. Look at the offers that they have available. A really great strategy to help you to improve overall. Now, good question here is, what would you do if you had these insights? So at the bottom, you've got a prompt and it says your photos receive more views than similar businesses. So that shows that you are doing well. And that's very encouraging in terms of your photo views. So stay ahead of your competition and keep that up. Make sure that you're posting photos regularly. Now, the listing doesn't mention there being any customer photos or reviews. So on that basis as well, then you could start to encourage your customers to take some photos. They can do that. They can take photos of your business. They can take photos of the outside of your business. They can upload them. This is where I went today, had a great time. Oh, and I'm going to leave a review too. So you can see how the social proof and your customers' appreciation of your business could grow. So I think that's a really important thing to do. Interact with your customers. Remember that you're working in a very strong social environment when you are using any of these types of tools. So here's another question for you as well. What would you do if these were your insights? So this image B, as you can see on the screen, shows a high amount of views from Google searches and far fewer from Google Maps. This is going to suggest that the business hasn't optimized its Google Maps listing because the traffic's quite low. So this business should aim for a Maps listing and follow the steps outlined today to maximize the listing. So you can see that you've got two different curves there. They're being found on search quite a lot, but people aren't necessarily looking through them on Maps because they perhaps haven't optimized their listing as of yet. Look at the difference between the being found 80 times on search and the 6 times via Maps. So it does give you crucial intelligence on how you can improve your listing overall. Now, we can use those insights. We want to understand our audience's behavior. As we've seen there, it tells you what they do, when they do it, why they do it. And that will help you to improve your listings overall. You can then adapt to their needs because you can work out what customers want. That's really key too. That's going to help you to reach new customers. And also, again, keeping your reviews up to date, asking people to perhaps share your business over social media. If you had a good time today, if you're on Facebook, perhaps you wouldn't mind sharing and saying, I had a great time at the bakery, at the supermarket, at the laundrette, whatever it is that you do. Okay, so we've covered a great deal of information now. I hope, again, this is inspiring you to think about how you can make your business stand out. All of these are fantastic tips, I think, to make sure that you're giving yourself a competitive advantage. We're going to move into the next pause for questions. I'm just going to have a quick look to see if there's anything that Angie hasn't answered. You can't hide bad reviews, but if they are derogatory, then there are ways that you can go through on the Google website to get those queried, but there's no guarantees. It's on a case-by-case basis. So thank you for asking that question. Is there a way not to include the bad customer reviews? The answer to that is no. If you think they're derogatory, bad customer reviews, and people are being malicious, there are ways for you to query that with Google. That's fine, and you would have to find a support page to give you the process to do that. But if they are valid bad reviews because you haven't provided the greatest customer service, then you have the ability to respond to those reviews and give your case so that your customers can see that you're trying to work through that query and turn a negative experience into a positive experience. So I hope that helps, and thank you so much for those questions. These are questions that come up a lot. They are very, very important indeed, but you can also then see from the questions that we're getting that realistically, making sure that your customer service offering is there, that you're being responsive, that you're being reactive to anything your customers are putting is a vital part of the Google My Business experience. Okay, so into the third section, just to run through now very quickly some extra features that your business profile can actually offer you. You can use categories, making sure your category is accurate. You can include bookings. There's a street view option. You can link your website. You can also then, and build a website, by the way, and then you can also have a gift card and donations ability too. Let's run through these, just getting conscious that we've got about 7 minutes or so left of the session today. Just select a primary category. You can choose up to, I think it's 5 different categories when you set up your business profile, but make sure that you are fitting your business correctly within your primary category and be specific. So if you are a nail salon, then find nail salon instead of just using salon. The best way to get those accurate benchmarks about how you're actually faring against other similar businesses in your industry is to be as specific and as accurate as you can. So again, that nice way to provide accurate information. You can sign up for bookings and have booking providers. So if you're a business that needs bookings, you're a restaurant, you're a nail salon, you're something that requires businesses as a bookings as a day-to-day enterprise that is important to you, that should be available to you. If you don't have the option, it's because your business isn't going to require bookings. You can sign up, you can choose your provider, and you can track those bookings as well. Now, you can do that straight from the app, but your website might already have a bookings provider. You can link that up to your Google business profile site and listing to make sure that you can link and direct people through to book directly from your listing. Again, I would look at the support page to get a really detailed overview of how to do that and the providers that are available. And again, if that's something that you would like more information on, there are going to be lots of YouTube videos that are going to help you to achieve that as well. Give you the confidence to start setting it up yourself too. Now, adding Street View to your listing, what would be the benefit of adding a Street View listing? It's to give people more information as well. Again, that visual representation, you can give virtual tours. One of the things you could do is perhaps upload a video. You can upload videos from your mobile that would show people this is my shop. This is what I do. This is how I do it. This is people often also I see go into stores and just give a quick virtual tour of that premise. So you can use things like street views to help people to understand their accessibility options. It's also going to help people to ultimately find you. Remember those pictures we saw of the outside of the premise? If you've got a street view, people can actually see you in relation to other buildings, other shops, other kind of landmarks in your vicinity. It could also help with them parking their car. Can I park outside the shop? Actually, I can see that I can't because it's double yellow lines. It provides people with some really, really good information, again, to help them to get to you and for that visit to be quick, to be easy, and with as little difficulty as is possible. So you can create that street view. It's a nice feature to add. It really does help your customers. Now, you can also build a free website. So from your listing, another reason why having a complete listing with good imagery is important, because you can build a website from this for your business. So here's a quick overview on the screen now of a video that helps you to do that. There's a website builder. It will put all of the information that you've entered in to your listing, and then it will represent it. You can template it. You can make it look as bespoke as possible. It's a very simple website. And it will then be, once you've signed up, you will see your website as whatever your business name is, whatever you've called it, .business.site. Now, if you do have a website name already that you want to link this to, you can transfer this over. So you buy a website domain and you can call it whatever you want. And then that would take away the needs to have your business name .business.site as it is originally done. But if you can't afford a big website at this stage, it's a really good way to have that extra online presence. And one of the things to do with your listing here is to have that call to action. As we said, you can see South Lanarkshire singing lessons there, nice picture that will all have been pulled through from the profile. And then the call to action is get a quote. So you're being able to draw and entice people in. You've got a free presence online until perhaps you can develop and build perhaps a larger website, maybe from a website builder like Wix or Squarespace, that type of thing. But it gives you that extra online presence. Now we're going to move into the last section for questions. I can see we're very, very close to being on time for the session. I can see that Angie's done an amazing job actually with all of the questions that have been coming in today. So thank you so much to Angie. And I really, really hope that people, again, have seen the simplicity of building a Google My Business or Google Business profile, as it's now known. It used to be called Google My Business profile and listing, and the advantages that it can bring you as a small business. So your next steps, I think, rewatch some of this session, this webinar, come back on the link that you came in on. Go on YouTube, have a look at see how other people do it. Do some competitive research, find other businesses in your area to see how they're populating their listing, how well they're doing things, and things that perhaps you could improve on to stand out from them. I think doing that competitive research is a really key way to market yourself. If you've got any particular questions, think about signing up for our free one-to-one mentoring at g.co/UK mentoring. And you can talk through any of these elements with a digital expert. You can sign up and say, I'd like to talk about Google Business Profile and how to get a really great profile together, and you'll be matched with someone who knows how to do that and how to help you in your business specifically. So sign up at g.co/UK mentoring. That just leaves me to say thank you. Crikey, that we've covered a lot of information. And again, hopefully you can just see the logic and the flow throughout this presentation is to give our customers a great journey on their search experience, to find you, that you're there, you're providing them with the information that you need, that you're using your dashboard insights to learn more and more about your customers as you go, that you're providing great customer service. Again, all of these things are really, really important, and must remember that you can gain more information, probably attend much more sessions, very, very similarly aligned to these on the Wenta website. It's been an absolute pleasure to partner with Wenta today. That's Wenta. Please, again, Angie, if you could share the website link to Wenta for anybody who would like to go through, that would be much, much appreciated. But as I've mentioned, that's wenta.co.uk. Go and check out the site for more great business, small business information to help you and your business grow. So I'm going to say goodbye now, and thank you very much indeed for your time and your attention. We've really enjoyed working with you again. And as I mentioned, go onto the Google Digital Garage website, g.co/digital garage, and sign up for more sessions so that you can continue your growing and your learning journey. And leave us your feedback today on goo.gle/digital garage feedback. So thanks very much. I'm definitely out of time now. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Friday and a fantastic weekend. And I will see you all soon, I hope, on another Google Digital Garage webinar. Thanks very much indeed, and see you later. Have a great day.